So I wanted to do a quick review on the processes that build our giant molecules that make up our cells, our macromolecules, as well as a quick look at the processes that break them down. So your macromolecules are the molecules that make up your cells. So for example, this is a phospholipid. It makes up your cell walls. It makes up the nuclear membrane, your endoplasmic reticulum. This is just a single protein molecule. Proteins are what make up your muscles, for example. Okay, so all of these big molecules in your body are called polymers. So they're just really, really large molecules that are made out of smaller units connected together. And you can be looking at thousands, hundreds, or even hundreds of thousands of smaller units joined together. So an example of a polymer is this car. So this car is made out of many, many Lego pieces. So it is a polymer, poly meaning many, mer meaning part. So many Legos assembled together. Okay, so there are processes that assemble the polymers, and that's called dehydration synthesis. Now, if we wanted to break this car apart and put all our Legos away back in their box, then we would be disassembling or breaking apart the polymer back into its individual pieces. That process is called hydrolysis. And we'll talk about those in a minute. Again, the idea that a polymer, something made out of many smaller parts connected together, very large molecule. Another example of a polymer is your DNA. So for example, this is just a quick look at chromosome number 12, and your chromosome number 12 is made out of 132 million base pairs. So down here is a base pair. Okay, your G bonds with the C. So 132 million of those connect together. That's a really large polymer. Some polymers that you'll talk about in carbohydrates would be, for example, glycogen. That's how humans store long-term sugar energy. So it's many repeating units. You can see these little hexagons connected together. Another carbohydrate, cellulose, polymer, many repeating units connected together. Notice they're arranged in straight chains, whereas this is a branch. And then a final organic polymer, starch. Okay, again, this one's more spiral in appearance, but you can see the repeating units that make it into a polymer, a large molecule made out of many smaller parts connected together. That's a polymer. Okay, so the small units that make up that polymer, so if I'm looking at this, each of these small units that make up that cellulose are called monomers. So monomer just means one part, monomer. So I'm going to assemble each of those together, and the finished large product is called the polymer, made out of many parts. So here's an example. Individual Legos for my Lego car. They don't have to be identical. Notice I've got red ones, yellow ones, blue ones, white ones. These ones are only 2 pieces long, whereas these ones are 4 pieces long. So the individual unit is called a monomer. What is made out of those monomers, the larger molecule, is called the polymer. Okay, so this car is a polymer because it's made out of many Legos connected together. A chain is an example of a polymer because it's made out of many smaller links assembled together. So I hope you're grasping 2 very important vocabulary words here. Monomer, the single unit, the polymer, the larger unit made out of the smaller unit. Okay, so again, monomer, the single link. Oops, get locked up. The polymer, many links connected together. Okay? All right, so now we're going to talk about the processes that build these polymers. So how do we assemble one ring and connect another ring to it into this larger polymer? That is a process called dehydration synthesis.